Welcome to episode 17 of Fables from the Pickled Quipper. I'm your host and master of dungeons, Phil, and where last we left off, the adventurers, who still remain a nameless rabble, have been tasked with rescuing the daughter of a lesser noble in Delsima, who has been taken by bugbears. We pick up the story the morning after a sleepless night for some, as they kept vigil with Silvarius, and they prepare to, after a brief stop, head out in search of the bugbear camp.
Also, just for everyone's reminder, Silvarius, you currently have 2 points of exhaustion, disadvantage on ability checks, and half movement. Claire, Cosette, and Eska have 1 point of exhaustion, just disability on ability. I did it again. Disadvantage on ability checks. I'm just merging the two. Alrighty, so session 17. Silvarius, is Kidox coming with you, or is he staying with the sword?
This time, think it better that he accompany me.
Alrighty. So it's early morning. Town is gently buzzing. What would you like to do?
Are we just going to walk?
Did you want to talk to that guard, Claire?
Does Silvarius want
I-
us to talk to the guard?
Would be a good place to start. The guard, and then perhaps a mount. The days are catching up.
If nobody else has anything to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everyone
let's
reaches it before you.
Oh,
It's just this tired-looking dragonborn.
So you reach the Windale house.
I'm gonna go ahead and rap on the door.
Moment passes for an elderly human opens the door.
Can I help you?
Perhaps.
I see.
He just sort of stares at you. You'd guess probably, 60s, 70s maybe, slight hunch, slightly drooping cheeks, and just sort of stares at you blinking, one hand on the door.
Well,
Is this the Windale?
yes.
We are here looking for a soldier, or a guard perhaps. He was injured whilst traversing an escort to...
As soon as you mention her name, he just, it starts in the hand holding the door, and you see the door start to tremble slightly. And then, in the space of about 5 seconds, it goes from his hand up his arm into his chest, and he just sort of collapses to his knees, sobbing.
Lady Judith. Why are you here?
He sort of looks up a little angrily, his nostrils flaring slightly.
Are you finished yet? We are here to...
Rubs his face with his sleeve. Slowly pulls himself back up.
How can you help? Do you have 4,300 platinum?
Nay.
Very well.
And he starts to close the door.
I put my hand on it.
I won't make you contest that. I think you got him beat.
Thanks for not embarrassing.
He just stops and glares at you.
Speak plain, Dragonborn. Why are you here?
Like I said, we are here to help. We do not have funds for this endeavor, but Fortune smiles upon you. I am tasked with the safe return of Julith Winddale. My compatriots here, they have agreed to assist me in this endeavor. I'm not sure who else is rapping at your door willing to assist you, but we are.
Make persuasion check.
Oh.
I don't much care for your tone. However, the guard is here, recuperating. I will permit one of you to come in and speak with him.
Nobody says anything.
This is your dance, big guy.
Who is the most persuasive and nice of us all? Claire Claire looks around. Where's Eska?
Eska's just rebooting her system. She'll be with you shortly.
Oh, interesting. I hadn't even noticed you were gone. Make of that what you will.
Eska says, I could talk with him. I'm a little sleepy. Ugh. But then again, I don't sleep, so maybe I'm not. That's confusing.
Oh dear.
Anyway, I'll happily go and talk with him. What do we want to know before I head in?
I mean, get any sort of tactical information you can so we know what we're dealing with.
Information. Numbers.
Got it. Lead on. Fine person.
He gives you a scowl. Guilty by
I smile.
association. And leads you inside the building. It's a fairly nice house on the inside. Probably the nicest place you've been to in terms of any sort of level of fixtures and such since you arrived in Delzimer. I don't know that you necessarily have an eye for what would be considered fashionable or expensive furniture, but you gauge
not.
that. I mean, you can tell that the wood is very shiny. There's lots of sort of silver candlesticks on sideboards and such. Eventually, you're led not upstairs but downstairs to a basement area where there's a couple of rooms down there. One of which appears to be a sort of small barrack capable of just holding like 2 or 3 guards. Get the idea that maybe they just rotate on and off. And they're propped in the corner, rather battered, and with a patch over. I was going to say an eye, but really it's more like sort of half of his face. There's a young human sort of snuggled up in the blankets, propped up against the wall. And he kind of looks up at you with one green eye as you come in. The old man, who you take to be either a butler or something similar, housekeeper, says,
Forgive me, Edwin. This is Fortune smiling on you.
Please, sir, don't take my companion's words too much to heart. His heart's in the right place, though his mouth is not.
He kind of gives a half-hearted shrug and shuffles out the room, leaving you with Edwin.
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 You know what? I'm just not going to use his name. Hello. I
Hello?
hear you were present during the incident.
Aye, I was.
What can you tell us about it?
Well,
And when I say us, I mean me.
who are you?
I should say I'm part of a group who have been, I guess, hired or tasked with helping to resolve the situation and get your charge back safely. So any information you can give would be gratefully received and put to use.
Okay. Well, I hope you do a better job than I did. We were just traveling down the road. The lady and 5 of us, 2 of the regular household guards and 3 hirelings that we'd use for the journey, coming back from a visit to see a cousin in next town over. The old man leading us, Jofo, he thought something was amiss. There was like a chopped tree. It wasn't like blocking the road. It was just next to the road. He thought it was odd, so he went to have a look. And as soon as he got up to the tree, this huge furry arm reached over it and just clobbered him in the head with a morning star. Didn't move again after that. Before I had a chance to react, someone came up behind me. I don't understand how. I mean, I've got good hearing. Well, I used to. I don't know how good it's going to be now. But he came up. He put a bag over my head, and I felt something hit me hard, and so I dropped and just stayed still. I knew I couldn't do out from there. And then I heard some other thumps, some screams, and then I heard my lady cry out, and then I just stayed there as her cries got quieter and quieter. Eventually, when I couldn't hear her no more, I pulled the hood off my head. Saw the hirelings were all dead. Couldn't see out of my left eye. All I could find of my lady was a brooch that had come off of her. A little ladybug brooch. I mean, I know there's at least 2. That's all I know, though. I saw the one come from behind the tree that took out Jofo, and then I know there was one at least that got me, maybe 2. Could have been one who put the bag and the other one who hit me, but they were surprisingly quiet. Hit very hard.
And what of your 2 companions? You said you had 2 companions you knew as well as the hirelings, right? And one of them was clobbered. Do you know what happened to the other? Oh,
Jofo was the only other one who was one of the...
it was you 2, and then the 3 hirelings.
And then the 3 hirelings. And hireling's dead. And so was Jofo. Head stoved in.
So you unfortunately didn't see a lot of where they were going, or what might be happening.
I thought I heard. Well, I mean, they sent the note. They told us where we were supposed to send the money. They seemed to think that they were capable of holding off any fighting as might happen, so they didn't seem too worried about it. They gave us a map and everything. Well, look, I got the map. Well, at least a copy of it that I was able to jot down there. Obviously, the master's got the real one. He's fretting away, as you would expect. There's no way he can come up with that kind of money.
What happened to the brooch?
Kind of looks around nervously, and then you see him reach over to a little table, and from behind a little stack of papers, he pulls out the brooch. You see him wince as he reaches over for it. Here it is. I figured no harm holding on to it for now.
Would you be opposed if we were to take it as a sign of our goodwill when she sees us? She may be quite panicked, confused. Maybe it will act as a little symbol of home that can allow her to trust us.
That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that.
Thank you. Anything we should know about her? What kind of how she reacts to things? What kind of girl she is? Is it a girl or is it the lady of the house? It's the daughter, right?
It's the daughter, yeah.
How old is she? Did we find that out?
15.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Okay. So
Um,
yeah, how does she? What's her personality like?
I'm willing to bet she took out some tufts of fur as they took her.
Feisty?
Aye. And he kind of eyes you up a bit and says, "Probably get on."
Yeah. I can respect that. Well,
She's,
that will serve her well.
Yeah, they wouldn't have broken her spirit, that's for damn sure.
Good. Well, I don't know that there's much more I can ask of you at this stage. I think you probably did the right thing. Better somebody that can come back and tell the tale than another dead guard. So do not fear on that. We will try and work out and work the situation out and get it back to you.
You really think I did the right thing?
I understand why you did what you did. Dying heroically is often what people talk about, but it's often doesn't really lead to anything useful.
You bring her back, and then I'll know I made the right decision.
We will go and do it right now. Thank you for talking to me, and rest up so you can get back on guard duty.
As soon as they let me out, I'll stand guard again, don't you worry. And kind of gives you a little smile.
She sort of pats him on the shoulder and then
He
gives him a
winces.
nod and and heads out.
And you get about 5 feet outside the door, and the butler's there again. I trust you found out what you needed.
I believe so.
Very well.
We will. I know she is dear to all of you. We will make sure we get her back for you.
And as you say that, he's already heading back towards the door.
I follow him.
Just do a better job than that boy did.
Of course. Does he seem has he seemed fairly genuine? Because he's sort of gone from very blubbery to very cold. So I just want to
Make
try
an
to
insight check.
discern his. Okay, that is going to be a 9.
You're not overly familiar with how humans handle their grief necessarily. This is a very complex situation. It's a tricky one. You're not quite sure if he's just a jerk or just is poor at expressing his emotions, or if he was being disingenuous earlier. It's very hard to know. You get the feeling that certainly some of the emotion you saw was accurate. It's just hard to know which bits.
Fair enough. I will try not to bother him too much and get out to my companions as quick as I can. So I will kind of report in, give all that information, just let them know that, and that I at least have like a little token that we can show if she's flighty, but that he wasn't too much use tactically, as he didn't see a whole lot.
He mentioned one thing though.
Yes,
The
yes.
bugbears were super quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody
Stealth
here have any,
bugbears.
right? Does anybody have any experience of fighting these creatures?
I wanted to I wanted to ask Phil actually. Is that like common?
Either history or nature.
Well, I mean, if possible, I would like to maybe make a roll if I can.
Yeah.
Say I have
Yeah, you aren't overly familiar with no, not familiar enough, let's say, with bugbear culture to know how, like, if there is this sort of reputation or not.
I do also impart the information that, she's more of a fighter than a flighter, so she should be in good spirits, hopefully, when we find her. I mean, good spirits may be taking it too far, but, she's got some backbone. Yeah, I agree. We should probably get some steeds, try and get close, and then maybe go through a more stealthy approach to find where they're at and kind of assess the situation before we do anything. I'd hate to sort of stumble on them, but if we have the mounts, we can make good time, which will allow us to slow down a little when we get there and get a better lay of the land. To the Horsemaster.
Okay, so you head back to Dorkins, towards the west side of town, and it's nice and early in the day. He says, "Well, you're in luck. Got the same horses I gave you last time. Hope that's all right with everybody."
Perfect.
He hadn't actually waited for you to reply. He'd already started moving towards the various areas to pick them up.
I was also trying to get in there before anybody complained.
And so quickly out comes Chad, the jet black warhorse. And he says, hey, Chad seemed to take a liking to you. And you'll do all right. Next comes Matilda, the fawn horse for Eska. And as soon as Matilda sees you, she just seems to perk up and is immediately happier. He says, oh my, ain't that something? I've seen her do that before. Next is Leroy, the Palomino. And when he sees Cosette, pretty similar reaction after a little bit of talking, I believe, took place between Cosette and Leroy. Cosette, do you still have the ring at the moment?
I do.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what it does. It's in the items.
Should be in the handouts, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Animal friendship. Oh, okay.
Next is Wendy, the little gray pony. She seems relatively pleased to see you, Claire. And finally, Gertrude, the stroppy, dark brown pony. And he brings Gertrude to bar door and says, don't take it personally, she's like this with everybody, but he kind of eyes her up and says, I say that, she may be even in an even worse mood with you than she is with most folk. Oh well, right. That's 50 gold then.
Do you know the Windales, sir?
Aye.
We are on our way to. You heard about the trouble they had, right?
Oh yeah, everybody heard.
We're actually heading out there to try and mount a rescue and get the daughter back safe.
Oh, congratulations. 50 gold, please.
Worth a try.
And then, when you say that, he kind of looks at you and has this dim recollection of something. He's like, just pulling your leg. Only 10 gold for you.
Oh.
Non-refundable, of course.
Maybe someday we'll buy these horses from you.
I mean, there might come a point where you kind of paid him off. Mind you, Chad there is mighty expensive, so I wouldn't be expecting to pay him off anytime soon.
But this could be maybe sort of gradual payments towards future possibilities.
Let's just say you hold on to your receipts and we'll think about it. How's that?
Kind of like a rent to own.
Yeah.
Right now, my interest is on making sure you bring my horses back safe and sound, so I can rent them out to other people.
So you said 10 gold, Phil?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Are you doing that, Cassette? You're still in charge of the
Yeah,
funds, right? Okay.
I count out the money and
Thank you, love. Alright then. Off you pop. Is it just the one day? You bring them back tonight?
Oh yes. Hopefully.
Right.
If not, obviously another 10 gold will be coming your way.
Darn straight. Okay. So, you rent your horses with the varying dispositions. You're following the map and heading towards the thing. Is that the gist?
Heading towards the thing.
Heading towards the camp that's being provided for you.
I think that's the plan. And then just pulling up short of it.
So you leave behind the sounds of the city. Slightly windy day, making it a little bit harder to hear things, unfortunately.
I don't think I did my druid craft this morning.
You did not.
Yeah. I'll do a quick one whilst we're riding, just to make sure of any crazy weather.
Oh, you will you?
Maybe?
Okay. You get the impression that that may be maybe a pretty nasty thunderstorm later in the day, early afternoon.
Okay. I relay that. It doesn't sound like it should interrupt our plans, but I will mention it just in case we take longer than we expect.
You said early afternoon for,
Yeah.
and we are out on the road at.
Yeah, I would say about 10ish. So you trundle along. Trundle.
I'll probably take up the rear. I assume Bardo will probably take up the front because he's usually
I mean, I'll try, depending on how my valiant steed.
So you said, yeah. Let me get that marching order once more. So the front is Eska.
I was going to take up the rear.
Oh, you're
Bardo
taking up the rear.
takes up
Sorry.
If he takes up the front, I'll just take up the rear to keep an eye out.
Okay.
I mean, not that I'm really expecting anything, but my general.
I normally like to be second.
Cosette second,
Can I be up there like with them?
and then Claire. That kind of puts you somewhere vaguely fourth-ish.
Yeah, that's fine.
If the three others are kind of taking the upfront bit, I probably wouldn't go behind. I'd probably go kind of next to Claire, but keeping an eye out still. I wouldn't want to,
Yeah,
make
sure.
it feel like nobody wanted to talk to her.
Bardor, if you will, make me a survival check to see how well you are following the map.
23.
You are
Pretty
following
well.
it very well. Yep. You go at a very gentle pace. You know you've got time, and you don't want to tire out the horses. So steady pace also keeps the noise down. Although it's helped because there is that wind that's creating a lot more noise than usual. You follow the main road for a while, and then you actually come across the fallen tree that was discussed. Apparently no one has seen fit to move it yet. Do you want to do anything here or keep going?
It might be worth checking this area.
Yeah.
Might be able to pick up some clues.
Whilst we're coming up to it, I'm have Kedox like land over on like a falconer. I'll hold my arm out and he lands over on Silvarius's arm, and he says in Dragonborn,
Take height. Alert us if you see anything.
Kedox flies up. Go ahead and make a perception check for Kedox. Okay, so 22 is the one that holds. Thankfully, not the 5 you rolled afterwards. So as you approach the fallen tree, he just reports back to you that he doesn't see anything. Looks like there's no activity at the moment around the tree.
How about how far away is it from town?
About maybe 10 miles.
Well, I'm gonna search around a bit. I want to kind of get a feel for, because I mean we know roundabout where the bugbears are at, but I was kind of want to see like I guess maybe what direction they went and kind of like some of the disposition of like how the guards were like whenever they fell and stuff like that. If I can figure some of those sorts of things out.
Yeah, give me another survival.
Is there any chance I could either do likewise or give him a hand?
Mm-hmm. You can roll with advantage.
Yep, 19.
Okay. Looking at the paw prints, because they do have pretty chunky paws. You're looking at one large-looking creature that was hiding behind the tree. The trunk is probably about 3.5, 4 feet wide. I mean, it's a big tree. Hard to gauge quite how tall these creatures are, just based on this, but certainly have a certain amount of weight to them. One big one next to a sort of a reddened patch of ground, just like the opposite side of the tree to that. You suspect that may be where Jofor, the guard, was struck. And this one seems to be the largest set of paws. Further back down the road leading towards the tree, you find 4 or 5 other sets of paw prints that lead out from the trees. It's a little bit hard to tell because that there's been other footprints that have come in since and have messed up some of it, and it looks like they may have sort of walked across paths a little bit here and there. But so you think, factoring in the big one behind the tree, you may be looking at 5 or 6 total. You can see vaguely where Julith footprints stop, and then there's a big mess, basically, where lots of tracks have crossed. But from there, it does look like continuing on the path. There is the tracks are messy, but there's sort of 2 distinct lines, as if they were sort of walking in pairs. It'd be impossible to tell numbers from this section, but you can at least see where they've gone. And it looks like they were kind of walking in pairs. They've headed down the main road, and then looks like maybe up ahead they take a deviation towards the forest, but you'd have to continue moving down to be sure.
So it sounds like we can track them from this point. Is there any sign of like missile weapons, any arrows laying around or anything like that?
No.
How, based upon the map, how much further does it seem that it would be from where we're at?
You would think maybe about another mile.
Oh, it's probably a good spot to leave the horses then.
Semi-wooded in this area.
Yes, it is. The wood kind of like comes out to meet the path. So it's wooded on one side, and then more sort of grasslandy on the other. But the path was very much designed to sort of move alongside the woods.
Is this the Boffin Woods?
Yes.
Okay. And does it look like that this tree fell naturally, or maybe was helped in any way?
It seems pretty clear from a quick glance that it was encouraged to fall.
Okay.
Before we get too close, I wonder if it's worth discussing possibilities. Obviously, safety of the girl is topmost priority. There may be a way we can get her out before engaging. and I thought I'd put it forward as an option. I have the ability to create a fairly large area of fog. If we were able to sort of map out their camp in advance, I could sort of seep that fog into the area, and maybe Bada, being well rested, could sneak in and attempt to liberate the girl, bring her free before we launch any kind of attack. It's somewhat dependent on the situation they have there, but you have the ability to pick locks, you're very stealthy. It would...
You guys can both move really quickly, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
I'd
Also-
normally trust myself a little more, but I may not be quite as agile as usual.
Right. You had mentioned this possibility of rain coming, right?
Yes, yes.
Maybe that would be a good time to do this if we plan on doing it. It might seem a little bit more natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we could time it.
Is it blowing pretty hard?
It's starting to pick up a little.
That might disperse the fog.
That's true.
I had wondered if the storm would be beneficial.
For similar reasons?
Traversing quietly is not my forte.
Mm.
Other options include a distraction. For I do not feel that communicating with them will be very useful. They are at the end of their ropes based on their demand.
Yes, we lose the element of surprise if we attempt to talk, and it very much sounds like they don't have good intentions. So there seems no need really to chit-chat, and I fear any attempt to communicate or prior indication of a potential fight greatly increases the danger to their prisoner
Yeah.
as their sole bargaining chip.
So do we go in then and try to get her out before we engage?
I think we should perhaps scout it out first, but I would love to do that if at all possible.
First and foremost, scouting. This I agree.
Yeah.
I feel perhaps one of us should keep a mount on standby.
I do have an agreeable horse, but it would make it a little harder for me to get in close to drop useful things.
Maybe. How does your horse like you, Claire?
Well, not as much as Cassette likes hers.
Perhaps you could even encourage Leroy to sort of keep things on the quiet side.
I can't not think of Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's his full name now.
We better not get him too close to them, because
Especially
he's
if
just going to
he-
run in there.
Especially if he runs in.
Yeah.
All right, thumbs up, guys. Let's do this.
So what exactly... We want him to try to be sneaky.
I mean, how close do we want him? Because how close does everybody want to get before we send a scouting party?
If we got about a mile or so. I mean, I'd say I should go ahead, maybe backed up by Aska, or we could go together. I don't know. Maybe not, since you've got some tired issues, but I'll scout ahead a good ways, and then,
I could keep you in sight, maybe.
right, something along those lines. That way I can kind of go ahead and we can maybe set up from there.
Could we... Hang on. A mile takes about 20 minutes, so... Pardon me,
It'll
what?
take twice that long with Silvarius on foot.
Oh,
True.
so various.
But I mean, if we were, is the 20-minute?
Well, you start now.
Yeah, right. Is the 20
I'll
minutes
start walking down.
is the 20 minutes though like the normal speed from the standpoint of like, or is that like being careful, like with stealth? Because it might even be slower.
That's true. Maybe we should just go slow at this point.
I mean, unless we feign like we have a, I don't know. I feel like that it's probably just better to do something else. But if we feign like we have some treasure and then ambush them, but I don't feel like that they're going to leave the girl alone to where we can like.
Yeah, I feel
in
like they'll
together.
send like one or maybe two, and then the rest will hang back,
Right.
which does split them, but we have to split to take them down, so it's
Yep. I think the plan should be to try to extract the girl and then bring our forces to bear on top of the bugbears.
Her safety is the only objective. What happens to them afterwards?
I agree by one point. I would fear for her future if they were not, at the very least, taught a lesson. For what is to stop them trying again if we leave them intact? Or maybe not her, but someone else.
Oh yes, no, lessons should be taught. Now all this is imperative that we find them first, and not they us. Do we have any abilities to aid in our preemptive awareness? I have key dogs. He could come in handy.
Oh, that's true. I will say, if you wanted to kind of make a careful approach with the slightly noisier members hanging back, I do have the ability, as long as you stay within a certain amount of range, to give you a signal to stop at a moment's notice. We could head forward with Badur in front, me a little behind, and then if we come across anything, I can immediately drop you a signal to let you know to hold and keep quiet.
I have one trick that I could potentially do. I just don't think, from what little I know about bugbears, I don't think I'm going to be able to be big enough. I'm not big enough to make this work because I can disguise myself. But I would be a tiny, tiny bugbear.
Don't they have accomplices? Do they not ally with smaller species?
I don't know enough about them to know their patterns.
So I've done a lot of like book studying. Can I roll like a check on bugbears? Just what I may have learned from it. Like,
Yeah, sure. Give me history disadvantage.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. You know that bugbears fall into several different categories. Not all bugbears operate the same way. They usually tend to group into small tribes, but those tribes may align themselves with a specific leader, and kind of like work for them for gold and what have you.
And is that normally another bugbear? Or...
Some will, like, every now and then you'll come across sort of like a bugbear, or like a kind of like an amalgamation of multiple tribes that kind of form under one, almost a little bit like the Khalasars in Game of Thrones. So every now and then one will come and kind of unite a couple of tribes and form a mega tribe. That would be very bad news. It does not happen very often, because rarely can one bugbear maintain control over multiple tribes for any length of time. More typically, you find like smaller groups that either work for someone who's willing to pay them, or more typically operate as like a standalone group. Some are also known to socialize with other goblinoid creatures, hobgoblins, or cunning and persuasive goblins even have been known to employ bugbears.
Did I see any goblin tracks or anything like that? Because they are a favorite.
Everything looked like it was a Bigfoot. You did not see any little feet there.
So it's just the big ones we have to worry about.
So should we advance slowly?
I think so.
Would we have to move at quarter speed for Silverius to be moving stealthily?
Yeah, he would be at quarter speed.
On
Because
foot or on the horse?
on a horse, you would move at the horse's pace regardless. You don't slow the horse down.
Okay.
Especially not a horse as magnificent as Chad.
I can basically give us a 120-foot cushion.
So basically, though, we're talking a little over an hour if we move on foot.
Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't be moving stealthily the whole time for this remaining mile, I would assume.
Maybe get halfway there and then start moving stealthily.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, yeah, an
Part
hour.
of an hour, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not terrible.
No, if we're kind of leaving it, the actual thing till close to the storm anyway, we got time in theory.
Right.
And you do feel a couple of little droplets of rain.
Well then,
Are you three okay to hang back? And I will shoot you a message if we need to stop. And I just cast message and in Silverius's head just say, like this. You can, just so you know, you can talk back to me if need be.
I am aware.
Same goes for you, Claire and Cassette. And I give them a quick demo, just whispering into their head.
Well, I'm gonna.
But it should be enough. It should be enough to shoot back the warning to keep quiet for a moment, and we'll reconvene. I assume if we do come across anything of that nature, we'll drop back and let you know.
No, I'll just take out my bow and I'll just start walking ahead a bit.
I'm keeping the horse. Was that the plan?
I guess as we were looking to hold on to one horse, it does make sense if it helps you keep a better pace as well. I guess I will draw my bow and just go just a little behind Bardo.
Okay.
And kind of indicate to the others how far back they can sort of trail. Because we'll be out of sight, as I go, I'll try and sort of leave like a sort of scuff mark with my boots every few paces. I'll just stop and kind of scuff my boot quietly, just to give them like a little additional guidance so they don't kind of start wandering off in the wrong direction.
And then I begin moving forward.
Okay. So, you trek the first half mile or so. Most people tie their horses up at the mile marker, yes, basically like with the fallen tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then you're bringing which horse? Chad. Okay.
The war horse.
So when you get about half a mile on, that's when you decide to start going into quiet mode. So at that point, you said you're splitting into essentially two little groups with Eska and Bardor in the front. Eska making little scuff marks every, 10, 20 feet? What's it going to be?
Yeah.
Just basically as you see fit, making sure that there's a continuing route for them to follow.
Yep.
And then the other three and Chad following in the rear. The wind and rain are starting to pick up a little bit now. It's turning into maybe more of a drizzle at this point. I'm not talking full-on rain here, but it is there. You're certainly getting a little damp. So you're following the tracks. You see where it starts to peel off from the main road and in towards the woods. You're kind of at that point where it deviates from the path now as you continue, but you know you've got to be getting pretty close at this point. Let's have both of you go ahead and roll stealth check.
10.
Correct. Okay, it's a 10 for both.
Not our best stealthing ever.
You reach a clearing before you're really ready for it. The clearing kind of catches up to you, and no one seems to have noticed you yet.
Do I sense? Is this something that is message worthy?
Yes.
I will shoot. I guess if I can, as soon as I see it, then I'll just shoot back a quick message of hold.
Here's what you see. You see a clearing about 60 feet in diameter, give or take. Some tents set up around a campfire, and you see looks to be about 4 large furry creatures discussing things around the fire. Additionally, beyond the fire, tied up to a tree, you see a, you would guess maybe a human teenager, female. Seems to fit the description for Julith. Bardor, from where you're standing, you see, acting as a sentry, a bugbear, holding in his left hand a morning star and in his right hand a javelin. And he sees you, and he turns around. Company!
Would we be able to hear that from where we're about?
You may make perception with disadvantage. All of you at the back. In fact, everybody make perception checks with disadvantage because of the weather as well.
Ooh. 16 with disadvantage. Oh no, sorry, 5. I was looking at the wrong one. Darn.
14.
13.
11.
Okay. Yes, the 3 at the back. Eska, who would you have picked to message?
Probably Silverius.
Okay. So, Severus, you would have heard hold and presumably stopped your group. You would also have heard this gruff voice. Eska and Bardor, you see the bugbears around the fire turn over to look at the entranceway.
Assuming Bardo doesn't do anything crazy, I will sling my bow.
Mhm.
I will step out, and I will say, "We are here to negotiate."
There's a pause, and then a slightly larger looking grey one walks forwards and kind of turns to face you. All right then, negotiate. Come forward, show yourself. You and your friend.
I will say, "We have the money waiting a little ways back. Would you like him to go fetch it?"
Make a deception check.
Yeah, I'll hold until I figure something out here.
Oh, 21 with disadvantage.
Well, that's quite high. All right, off you go. Go get our money.
Eska just turns round and says, "Yes, Bardo, go fetch the money," and just kind of winks at him.
Bardor, make an insight check, please.
Insight check.
If you recall, we've tried this winking game before.
Yeah.
Eska's signals are always perfectly clear.
It makes
To Eska.
Yeah.
So I want to. Do I get disadvantage because I'm getting signals from Eska?
How dare you?
It's always fun when characters try to argue they should have disadvantage. You think?
I got a 1.
and same.
I mean, at the very least, you think maybe she wants you to go get Cassette, because Cassette's got your money, but you're a little confused because you know you don't have the money.
If it helps any, just to help with this, I also don't know what I want him to do.
Cool. Okay, Bardur. Do you go back to the others?
Yeah, I will, because otherwise they have no idea what's going on.
Okay. So, at regular pace, it's going to take you about 3 rounds, give or take, to walk back.
So
Can
how's everybody's? How's
You could
everybody's
dash and
saving
make it
going?
in a turn and a half.
Okay, that's kind of what I was hoping to do.
Weather's looking pretty bad.
Alright, shut it.
I'm Esker. What's your names?
Well, my family, you don't need to know their names. But as for me, I am Borgaz. And he has a very... You sense he may have spent some time around humans because he has a very smug look on his face. The urge to punch him is significant. And this is my family, again, whose names are not relevant to you. You will not be needing them. You just need to know that you are talking to Borgaz and his tribe. Understood?
Totally. You seem like a well-organized outfit. I can appreciate that.
He takes that as genuine. Of course we bloody do. Now, where's Stumpy with my money?
Well, he's pretty small. It'll take him a moment.
Okay, Bardor, you have now reached the rest of the party. What would you like to say to them?
So, 5 bugbears. They know we're here. They got the girl in the back of the grove. Eska's trying to stall. They seem pretty stupid. But we shouldn't underestimate them anyway. Best she said we need to get, that we were going to give them money. I know we don't have the money. The best thing we could do is maybe fan out and try to attack them. I don't. That's it. That's all I got.
Somebody should probably be in charge of grabbing the girl. Bardor, do you think you're best?
Probably. I don't know. I mean, I can try moving around now, stealthing around, and getting to her in the back.
You hear calling across the wind, we haven't got all day, come on.
It was a lot of platinum though, wasn't it? I mean, that's gonna take him a while to get back here. I apologize. We should have brought it closer. These are dangerous woods though. We didn't want to just sort of walk into, walk somewhere and lose it. It's a lot of coin.
Make me a persuasion check. So you guys heading up?
Oh dear.
6.
Yeah. I'm gonna go make my way off on my own, trying to get around to the back to get the girl.
Okay.
No, I was just saying I wouldn't be running, dashing, because I think that would just make too much noise and spook them.
No, I wasn't going
So
to.
I'd be going, but just regular speed.
But
No, I'm just saying me personally.
Oh no, okay. What I'm actually gonna do real quick, I'm just so I can let you know what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna cast Long Strider on myself now.
Okay.
To give myself a little bit more pep in my step, and whenever the opportune time, because that lasts for an hour, and that's not concentration.
Yep.
When the opportune time hits, I'm going to also cast Zephyr Strike on myself.
Okay. So the rest of you are walking up. It will take, at walking pace, we'll say you have had the opportunity to go 1 round since Bardor has arrived. So that puts, right now, for ease, we'll say, Cassette, you are 60 feet away. For ease, we'll also say Clara is 60 feet from there. And so Various, were you also moving at your current regular pace?
Yeah, I'll keep pace with them whilst up.
Oh, so you're on the horse. Okay, right. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stay on.
not a problem. Okay, so yeah, you're all currently 60 feet away from there. So moving back to Eska, when you you're talking, he says, I reckon you're stalling.
You're right. I am. They've got to get back.
He doesn't care for that. So, here's what's going to happen. From behind two trees, you see two hitherto unseen bugbears emerge,
Greetings.
pop out, and hurl javelins at you. Actually, this one steps forward a little bit and then hurls a javelin at you. You are considered surprised. Because you're surprised, he has advantage. Does a 13 hit?
No.
Alright, we're going to try that again then. The other guy does a 16 hit.
It does not.
That is very fortunate. Okay, now I'm going to need everybody to please roll me some initiative.
I got an 18. Oh dear.
Okay, no need for you to roll a second time.
Oh, a 10.
I'm going to
Excuse
sleep
me.
tonight.
Right? It's not worth it.
It's not. I miss being able to do stuff.
I'm just saying I picked the right mission to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Bardur, you become aware things are starting to go south, basically.
Right.
And you're aware of this. You have an opportunity to act. It is your turn. You're currently 60 feet away.
I'm gonna try to make my way around to the girl.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go, like, I guess, basically the north side and kind of work my way around. I guess I'm gonna dash.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna use Zephyr Strike yet, but if I dash, I've got because it's 35 right now because of long strike, so it'd be 70 feet I could move.
Yeah.
Trying to not make myself visible to them, but you know, at this
Okay.
point, whatever.
Can't really give you a stealth check since you're going full pelt, but
Oh yeah, no, I get it, but
yeah.
you know, I'm just doing the best I can as fast as my little legs will take me.
Yeah. Okay, Kedox.
I'm just gonna have him fly up high, and position himself aerially overhead, just to. In future turns, I'm gonna use a quick blink through.
Okay. Next up is the bugbears. There is a snarl from the chief. These two bugbears move thusly. This one moves thusly. So, Eska, you got
Yes.
some attacks coming your way.
Get ready to make some death saving.
First swing with Morningstar. Does a 17 hit?
Nope.
Okay, next guy. I'm assuming a 12 also does not hit.
12 does hit.
Shut it. And a 15 also misses.
Yeah, 15 misses.
Okay. So,
17.
so these three bugbears come up with morning stars and just try to wail on you, and you are able to just about dodge sufficiently to not get hit. The other three, still holding javelins and morning stars, aren't able to close in. The chief, however, he takes two swings with his morning star.
I
First
would
swing
just like to say, I'm happy that Eska's tanking right now.
does a 20 hit.
I am the party tank. A 20 does hit, yes.
Okay, so he comes in, and he actually kind of leaps up onto that tree stump next to you, and just brings the Morningstar down with vengeance for 17 piercing damage.
Alrighty.
And then he brings it across for a backhand, narrowly missing you.
Probably a good thing.
Set, you're up. You're 60 feet back right now.
Okay, I'm just gonna dash.
As soon as you get up there, these three bugbears hurl.
Secret bugbears?
These three bugbears right here, on the left, hurl javelins at you.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
Is that all?
Don't worry, they can't hit anything.
It's funny because it's true. That was not a good roll.
I read that in my book.
That was a 6 to hit.
The Idiot's Guide to Bug.
Then a 7 to hit. And then a 7 to hit. So you kind of rush up towards the clearing, and then you stop just in time to see 3 javelins whiz past your face. Narrowly avoiding being skewered repeatedly. Eska.
Well done, Eska.
Okay. So Eska sort of assesses the situation, looks over her shoulder, sees that people are a little ways back. Do I notice Badur? Badur is running, so he's probably not too
You would
stealthy,
certainly
right?
notice him, yeah.
She will just draw her dagger, say, "Is that all?" and take the dodge action.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it? No
Yeah.
bonus?
Bonus action. Just hope not to die.
Understood. Claire, you are 60 feet back from the X, 70 feet back from Eska.
Okay. She is going to actually just go ahead and take both of her actions to dash, and she can make it 50 feet.
Alrighty. Sivarius, you are on a horse, specifically a warhorse.
Okie dokie. Alright, so beginning of my turn, I'm going to flash over to view through the eyes of Kedox. Notice that, okay,
I've got it under control.
and go ahead and whip Chad into here.
Okay. Alright, Butter.
I am going to Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
So I'm going before I move. I guess I have to attack first, right? Did you actually get?
To get the speed boost, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so I am going to attack the bugbear that's closest to me with an.
Okay.
That gives me. I get an advantage on this one. 17.
And that's on the regular bugbear?
Yeah, the one that's closest, which seems to have a bit of a pinkish hue to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit.
Okay, so apparently it's 12 damage piercing. But then, since this is the first round of combat, I have Dread Ambusher.
Ah, but it is not the first
Oh,
round
actually-
of combat.
It
not.
is not the.
No.
You are correct, sir. Okay, so that doesn't apply to this. So, but I am going to run all the way across to the girl, and I should be able to get there. Well, real quick, does she look like that she's bound?
Yes. She is, like, her hands are behind her back and appear to be tied together behind the tree. So she's sort
Okay.
of attached to the tree at the moment.
All right. Well, I'll just say hold tight, girl.
She just sort of nods at you. She has a, like a rag covering her mouth, so she
Right.
can't speak. Okay. Is Kedox doing anything?
Nah, he's just gonna keep swirling.
Okie doke. Nice and easy. Bugbears. Okay. Okay, Eska, you ready?
Yep.
So I'm
Well,
at
maybe.
disadvantage with
Yes.
the 3 right in front of you. They're swinging first with Morning Stars. 9 to hit.
Nope.
11 to hit.
Nope.
13 to hit.
Nope.
I'm very stubborn. They keep going. The chief,
I
however...
was trying to sort of goad them on a little.
Oh, it worked. They're frothing at the mouth. They see this rather pathetic little elf in their eyes, who's marched in and then tried to talk down Burgos, their chief, and they ain't happy about it. Please hold. I'm just double checking. I did not necessarily expect you to be riding the horse into combat. And it's a while since I've had to worry about those kind of rules.
All time first.
I don't think Eli was expecting to write the horse into combat.
No.
Maybe we should have.
Yeah, just rode the whole party in on
Yeah,
horseback.
maybe we should. I mean, well, I'd still be in the back with Gertrude right now. So
At least should have taken Leroy.
yeah, so you can scream Leroy Jenkins as you charge in.
And so seeing you kind of like gallop in, Burgos is like, he starts licking his lips and just walks over to you, bellows a challenge, and starts swinging. So he's going to take 2 swings with his Morning Star. The first is an 18 to hit,
Just
and the second is an 11. One of the bugbears notices the dwarf scarper through, hurries over and hurls a javelin towards Bardur. On its way over, it misses wildly. In that one, and not rolling well.
It's
This
the girl instead, huh?
this bugbear comes over and takes a swing at Eska. 15? No.
That will not hit.
And then this one will come over to Silvarius and also take a swing. As a 14. Really need to start rolling higher. Cassette, you're up.
I'm going to move up here.
Okay.
And I'll attack.
Okay. Slightly pink hued one. Yep.
So I'll just kind of. So flail. Might have done disadvantage.
Doesn't matter. You hit.
Okay. And 7.
Okay. He's looking really rough now. That's the one you see. There's an arrow sticking into his rib cage, where Bardur shot him earlier. And you come in and very kindly take a swing with the flail, and it just hits the arrow and pushes the arrow in further as you make contact with his side. Eska.
Esker is gonna just kind of like flick her dagger in the air a couple times and try to look ready again. She's just gonna dodge.
Okay. Claire.
The trees over to the side, this is just kind of like normal density forest, right? Like it's pretty visible through it.
Yeah, it's fairly thick. I mean, it's a continuation of the normal looking trees. So it's fairly thick. Bardur was able to take a shot without any obstruction.
Okay.
So
She is going to shuffle off the path into the trees. She is going to cast Bless on Eska, Cassette, and Silvarius.
very good. Anything else?
Nope, no bonus actions.
Silvarius. You have a couple of bugbears up in your face.
feeling rather challenged by this guy. Just gonna say,
You made a grave error.
You see the sort of common bugbears, if you will, are wearing hide and they have a shield. And the chief himself has a chain shirt.
so as he's laughing,
Laugh at this.
and lightning is gonna start surging through my hand as I reach out and try to shock.
Okay. Definitely hits.
8 light,
Yeah, he takes that.
and he cannot take reactions for a turn.
You see this lightning crackle and shoot through him, and especially where the armor is, and he snarls with rage, and if anything, seems a little angrier.
Okay, I'm just gonna take the horse, and after delivering the shocking grasp, I'm just gonna move around and start heading towards.
So you went past the red guy, so he'll get a swing at you. Lashes out with his Morning Star. 7 to hit. Okay, Bardur.
All right, so I'm gonna, now that Silvarius is over here helping out, I'm going to, I'm keeping my bow in my left hand, but I'm gonna pull out my falcata, and I'm actually I'm gonna like cut the Because is she standing up?
Yes.
You say her legs are tied too?
No, it's just
Just her hands.
yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna cut the rope.
Make an attack roll.
14.
That is just shy of what you needed to cut through. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So you hit it, but it's not enough to get through the thick rope.
Okay. I am going to interpose myself, getting away so he can't get to her.
Okay. Anything from Kedux?
He's gonna fly down towards where I'm at.
Bugbear's turn. The one up near the Lady Julith is gonna swing out hard for Bardur. Man, these rolls. Good grief, that is a 12.
Yeah, misses.
Yeah, I bet.
Are they exhausted too? Like,
I don't know, man.
What level exhaustion is that? Is that 3?
Yeah. The one at the bottom is going to rush through towards Claire and take a swing. That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
And that is 17 piercing damage. I roll very high on damage. And that'll be a concentration save as well, please. Okay, yeah, you are fine. Bless remains.
20.
So, bugbears aren't completely stupid. They realize they've been having a hard time hitting Eska. 2 of them are going to swing at Cassette. The slightly pinky-colored one. The pinky-colored one gets an 18 to hit. I believe just misses.
yep.
Again. And then a 14. And then the slightly orange and blue ones swing at Eska. It's a 13 and an 8.
Nope.
And then the chief turns around.
I'm gonna when he goes to attack. Is he attacking Eska or me?
No, he's going after you.
Oh.
First swing, 23 to hit, 15 piercing. Second swing, 8 to hit. And Cassette, it is now your turn as you manage to easily deflect the second blow, having been well and truly clobbered by the first of this giant morning star coming at your face.
Okay, I'm just going to do another flail attack.
Yeah, alright.
Ugh. 6 blood twice.
That's enough.
Oh yeah,
Bugbear down.
and I think there's really no benefit from me moving. Yeah, I guess I'm.
Okay. Eska.
Eska will sheath her knife and just say, "You can't even hit an unarmored girl," and take the dodge action.
So annoying. Just so annoying.
It's not where I want it to be.
Things escalated.
Things escalated.
Oy. Claire, what you got?
Oh, well, well, I guess first up, she's gonna use a bonus action and spiritual weapon. So her little unicorn hammer is gonna pop out right here beside the bugbear, and when it appears, it's gonna take a swing at it. Oh, that was only an 8 to hit.
8 does not hit.
Yeah, I had a feeling. As a regular action, she is going to use the Word of Radiance cantrip. So the one in front of her just needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
It very much fails.
Woo! He will take 3 whole points of radiant damage.
That is 3 more than he had taken before. Yeah, he just gets singed by this radiant fire, and you get this horrible smell of burning fur in your nose. Most unpleasant. So, Varius.
Is Julius? Is she awake and aware,
Mhm.
or
Yeah, her eyes are very wide at the moment. She has a gag across her mouth, so she can't speak. She looks, I think it's safe to say, a little panicked.
okay? I'm gonna run up.
Her arms are tied up back behind the tree, so she's kind of like giving it a reverse hug. If that makes sense. Possibly
Okay.
an inverted hug.
I'm gonna ride up behind her and try to cut the.
Okay, go ahead, take a swing. Okay. Well, the good news is you don't chop her hands off. The bad news is you're not able to get through the rope.
I'd call that a win overall.
And I'm just gonna say to her now that we're here,
Judith, don't be alarmed. We're here to rest.
he would say,
You're not able to see her face. If you could, you think maybe that did not help.
I'm gonna drop Zephyr Strike and cast Hunter's Mark. That fell in front,
Righty-ho.
and then I'm just gonna slash at him with Falcon.
Very good.
7, but it's technically a natural 1.
It is. You go to swing. The attack just harmlessly deflects off his shield. No damage to anybody or anything. Even the shield seems fine.
That's it for me.
Kedox.
"Can I get Kedox to fly down and try to?"
Sure. Make a general dex check for Kedox. Don't think he has opposable thumb, so this might be with his mouth. So, let's just set the scene for a second. This poor teenage girl has been abducted, tied to a tree. Then a bunch of misfits marches in, including a large dragonborn riding a imposing horse. Says something about be calm, and then hacks at where her hands are. And then a small dragon lands on her and tries to bite off her gag. He would probably have succeeded had she had been a little bit more calm. As it is, she struggles to kind of get away from him, and the gag remains in place. Bugbear's turn. Firstly, the red one on Claire is just going to take a swing with the Morning Star again. That is a 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
That is 18 piercing.
Woo!
That is max damage. Good
You
grief.
said you rolled very high last time.
I did. I rolled almost max. This time I rolled max.
So I'm gonna seeing her get hit again, because I saw the first one out of my
Yes.
eye, the corner
Yeah,
of
you
my eye,
would have
and then
done.
seeing her get hit again. I'm gonna kind of reach out with like the hand that my shield's holding onto, but just kind of reach out, and I'm gonna channel divinity rebuke the violent, and that's the reflect damage.
Gosh.
So it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Could be.
Seems good for bugbear.
That is a 9.
Okay, so attacker takes radiant damage equal to the damage it.
Oh, good grief. Oh, it does not. It
Hot
does
damn.
not like that.
So I was not happy about her.
So it just swings down this Morningstar with malice, having just been roasted by Claire. And as it does so, and it brings the Morningstar down onto, pushes through the shield and into the shoulder, and you feel like the points of the Morningstar puncture through into the skin. All of a sudden, the out of the corner of her eye, you see Cosette's hand move, and then just this glowing force bursts out from you, and the Morningstar goes thrust back into the bugbear itself, and then there's more burning fur as it lights up with this radiant energy, and it is now just It looks really bad. It is bleeding profusely, and is staggering on its feet. Here, I thought I was having a good turn. All of a sudden, nope.
It is weird. I always feel weird that it's after it deals damage, but that's the way it reads.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Claire, I do need you to make another concentration check. While you're doing that, Eska, I have.
Oh, that was a 4.
All right, bless drops.
Yep.
Okay, Eska, I have a swing coming your way. The slightly blue sheened one. Yeah, that's a natural one.
Nice.
You rolled a 16 on the other die, but that doesn't matter. The orange one, also a natural one.
Wow.
They are just they're swinging as hard as they can to hit this little elf who just keeps ducking, weaving, and not jabbing. The purplish one is going to swing at Cassette. That is a natural 20.
Oh, you know what? I'm immune to crit.
Oh
You
yeah.
are immune to crits. Of all the
Oh, what a
people I
great
decided to
time to-
crit.
Ugly.
Wow. Okay. So it is a 24 to hit. Unfortunately, the regular damage dice was max, so it's still 18. But you're
Cool. Hey,
prevented
okay.
from the
Could've
additional 2d8 damage. And now the chief is going to swing. Seeing Cassette staggering a little bit, he's going to swing once at Cassette and rolls an 11. And then he's just going to carry on a big sweep through and try and hit Eska. 19 to hit.
That will hit.
He rolled double 14s on the dice.
And it would happen one day.
It had to eventually. There's
Yeah.
only so long that you can dodge that.
I was pushing my luck.
So he goes and tries to hit Cassette, but his Morningstar glances off her shield. Unfortunately, that just carries it with extra weight into your ribcage, dealing 13 piercing damage as the spikes cut through the toughness of your skin. Cassette, you're up.
I'm gonna go for the leader dude.
Okie doke. I mean, technically,
Well, let's see.
he
I'll
answers
do
to
a-
Borgas, not leader dude.
It was meant to be disrespectful.
Wow.
Actually, I just couldn't remember. You know how good I am with names, so forgive me. Okay, I'm gonna do a regular attack, and then we may add a little bit of a. Ooh, 26 to hit. Yeah,
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do a divine smoke.
Okay.
There's the regular damage. Boom.
Max damage. Yeah.
Damage.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Right.
I told you.
Nice.
So that'll be 16 radiant and
That's so 29 altogether. What a hit. You just mutter something in what language you think she would reach for when she's most indignant.
kind of almost like a scream, like just kind of like.
And it's I could see this being the good old fashioned uppercut here. And it just it like carves up through the chain shirt, hitting him in the jaw. And you see just significant damage done as this blow hits him, and he snarls back, readying for another attack, but he that shook him for sure. 29 damage. God. I don't know, but I would imagine that's probably the most damage any single hit has done so far in this entire campaign. I can't imagine there's been
Unless there's an AoE spell or
right,
something.
but even
yeah.
I mean,
So she doesn't move. She just you could see her like shoulder. She's like breathing really heavy, and she just like puts her shield up, like ready for the.
and you get the sense it's coming. Eska,
How does he look? He still look pretty good.
I mean, he's that
I
that
mean, for
was
somebody that's being blasted.
that was a heck of a hit. But he still looks like he's good to fight.
I'm just fighting my urge to run away. Eska will continue to dodge.
Very good.
She'll just make some snide remark about them again.
They seem pretty enraged at this point that they've been swinging at you so hard and failing. But now that they've seen you bleed, they seem a little happier.
I actually draw some of the blood and just flick it at them.
Yeah, that'll get their attention. Claire.
So, feeling very inspired by Cassette over there, Claire's going to palm her actual Warhammer, I think maybe for the first time, in both hands and swing it at the bugbear in front of her. For a 24 to hit.
That hits.
For 10 bludgeoning damage. So she just kind of
a
like...
natural one.
she just kind of like yells in anger and just slams it into him.
If you were taller or he was shorter, this would probably go right in the top of the head. As it is, the meat of the Warhammer just comes in and goes right into the sternum and through the sternum, and there's a sickening crack as the bones break, and the bugbear topples down at your feet, well and truly smoked.
She just kind of wipes some sweat off of her forehead and sends her hammer, her other hammer, her nice floaty hammer. And yeah, then the spiritual weapon is going to aim at what's his name? Borga's leader man.
No, I smiled briefly, and then it went away.
Well, it's okay, because the spiritual weapon just whiffs through him.
Justice. Very good. Moving?
No, she's going to hang out this round right here.
Severius.
16 for 5 slash.
And that is enough. You bring the longsword down, and it wedges into the tree, the rope snapping, and you see Judith sort of quickly bring her hands forward. And she appears to be no longer restricted.
Well, I already spoke with her, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and action surge and move on around and try to help Bardura.
Alrighty.
My blade is going to burst into 10 slash.
A little bit of singed fur in front of you as the bugbear takes this blow from the sword coming down.
I'm gonna haul over to Bardura.
Bardur, finish him.
Badur, would you like to finish him?
I try. Falco. 20 for 11 slashy.
So that's what, 17?
Yar.
Literally the number you needed. You
Don't say that close to the horse.
bring up this glorious dwarven sword and slash through the heart of the bugbear, and he falls.
Okay. I'm gonna assume it because I had the bugbear in front of me. I don't know that the girl loose, so I'm just gonna turn around and run to her, and then I guess I'll see, and I'll just yell to her. Well, just like hang tight, lad.
Make me a persuasion check.
Yeah, 1.
Oh, God.
Okay. Bugbears. Only 3 regular bugbears left. They are all going after Eska. Because she done annoyed them. 12. Next one over, 14. Getting closer. Last one, natural 1. And a nat 20.
Good grief.
Yeah, the best rolls there were 22 and 19 and then crit. Good thing you were dodging, huh?
Yes.
The chief, on the other hand, is still looking very much at Cosette. He kind of looks up at the sky, yells, "Vorugak!" and swings. And misses. With a 15. Swings again. Would you believe it? It's another crit that doesn't count.
I'm
Still
paid
gonna
for
hurt.
itself.
So nat 20. So hits. 14 piercing damage. The first one you're able to glance off with the shield, but you're not quick enough to recover in time, and he brings it down, hammers it into your arm, and you feel your grip loosen briefly on your shield before you summon the strength to keep hold. Your slightly dingy-looking armor is looking a lot redder and rustier than usual right now, as the blood flows rapidly, and he just seems to be relishing the fight right now. It is your turn.
I'll take a swing.
Very good.
Ooh,
13 does not hit.
looking a little frightened now.
Eska.
Feels like her luck's running.
Okay. She's going to. You're not going to believe this. She's just. She's just going to take the dodge action and, I guess, smear some of the blood across her forehead and try and look as intimidating as possible to those 3 bugbears.
Alrighty. Claire.
I am gonna pull out my dagger as part of that again.
Okay.
Just to add to the actual looming threat. Sorry.
You have
that's
your
it.
dagger. Alright, Claire. What you got?
Yeah, she's gonna run around, avoiding Leader Man, as we're now calling him, because he doesn't deserve to have his name. And as she's running, she's just gonna call out Cassette's name, and as she appears behind her, she's gonna reach out and cast Cure Wounds on her for 6. Well, I guess the spiritual weapon will try to take another swing for a 15.
Unfortunately, 15 glances off his
Yep.
his
Yep.
chain.
Feeling.
So, surveying the scene, and having not really received a lot of reassurance from Bardor, and having a pseudo-dragon jump in her face, Lady Judith kind of looks down at her freed hands, pulls the gag down, and runs into the woods and out of sight.
Job done.
So, Varys, you're up.
I'm gonna yell at Keydox to find her,
Okay.
and I'm gonna kick my horse. And as I'm riding, take a deep breath and unleash an icy breath upon the 2.
Oh, big fail. He succeeds.
Alright, so 6.
And then half on the other 3. So yeah, just this billowing cloud of ice and frozen mist just spews forth from Silvarius, narrowly avoiding Chad's ears, and covers the 2 bugbears, and they get real frosty. They're not happy about that. Very good. Bardur.
No, I'm going to go. I'm going to move forward a little bit, get a better view of the shot, and I'm going to take aim. Well, I will drop my Falcata so I can aim with my longbow, and I'll take a shot at the blue-hued bugbear.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to transfer Hunter's Mark to him too. Actually, for my bonus action. Holy shnikes! Natural 20 for a 28. So that.
Okay, so 13 on the slightly bluish looking one. Okay. It's the first time he's been hit, but he did not like that. That is in the hamstring, and he yells out in pain as this arrow streaks through, gets through his relatively flimsy hide armor, and deals him a nasty blow. Okay, so Kedox is going to go look for Lady Julith, correct? Make me a perception check for him. Okay. He disappears into the woods, and just lets you know that he is tracking her for now. He has eyes on her. But as you know, there comes a point where you are unable to communicate with him, so it's going to be tricky. But for now, he is following her. Bugbears. The two who just got frosulated turn around and are slightly startled because they'd kind of forgotten that this was happening, that there's a dragonborn on a horse behind them. But they rally quickly and take swings. Slightly purplish-looking one. It's a 14 to hit. And then another natural one. Good grief. Blue one has not learned his lesson. Swings at Eska. 17.
So close.
I know. Oh well, what are you gonna do? The chief just licks his lip, and you can see there's a little bit of blood on his tongue as he does so, and then just reaches out to strike back on Cassette again. First one is a 16. Second one is a 24. 17 piercing. He just keeps pounding away, trying to get through your armor, which he is eyeing up enviously, seeing how it's been able to protect you so far. This one gets through right up next to the clavicle, and again you feel weak as you feel a lot of blood leaving your body, tottering on the edge right now. Cosette, it is your turn.
More than that, I think I'm gonna just do lay on.
Okay. You reach up, clutch your pendant, feel warmth return to your body. The bugbear's jaw kind of opens as he sees blood literally kind of going back up and into your body. And he just said, "No, no!" Eska.
So I'm going to take the dodge action,
Okay.
but I'm then going to move.
Ooh.
I know. I'm going to use some newfangled stuff.
The purple one's going to swing at you. Will be at disadvantage. Are you kidding me? 2 1s? What on earth? The other one's going to swing at you. You got a 2, didn't know. So, both miss. Okay, blue one swings. Another one. Man,
Okay, so that's... I say to Bader, I'll get the girl, you help them over. And I will cast Expeditious Retreat. At 5:30, I'm just going to start heading as the direction I saw her go.
Claire.
Seeing that Cassette still does not look great, cure wounds at level 2. And then the spiritual weapon's gonna try to hit the big guy again for a 21 this time.
Hooray!
Definitely hits.
For 6 damage.
It's been clubbing away at his back, and this time it just thuds into him, and you see him stagger briefly. And he kind of like coughs and spits up some blood. You could say he looks bloody.
And she's actually just gonna move up. Just one behind Cassette, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be it.
Savaris?
I wasn't kidding when I said you made a mistake.
I'm going to raise my hand out, palm up, and I'm going to close it. And when I do, I cast Thunderwave.
Mhm.
And the
15-foot cube. So hits all 4 of them.
Good time for me to get out of there.
A little bit.
I was contemplating.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Orange passes with a 17. Purple fails with a 3. Blue passes with an 18. And the chief fails with a 10.
5 and 2,
Okay.
and the fails get pushed 10.
And then 10 feet, you said?
I'm assuming the girl probably heard that giant thunder clap and just kept on running.
Oh, everybody heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still within 300 feet. She would have heard that boom.
I'm just gonna stay where I'm at and shoot the blue guy again.
Okay. Weather's getting a little worse.
24, 8 damage. Then Hunter's Mark. They're 4 damage. So 12 total.
Good grief. You got him on the nose again.
Like,
Quite remarkable. That's actually the third time someone's gone down with exact damage.
Uh,
You guys are not stretching yourselves further than you absolutely have to, apparently.
precision.
Okay, bugbears. There's a snarl from the chief. The bugbears turn and face Cassette. The orangey looking one swings his Morning Star. 21 to hit.
Well, maybe I'll just wait and see. With the
16 piercing. The purplish looking one swings. Only a 7 to hit. Borgaz bellows and charges in and swings. 18 to hit.
just barely misses.
Swings again. 16 to hit. Cassette, it is your turn.
All right, so after kind of blocking both blows with her shield, she winds up at
The uppercut. Oh, that's a hit.
Oh,
24. I'm gonna smite.
Yeah. Good. Grief. Here we go again.
8 off the flail. 12. Pretty good.
Yeah, 25 total. So yeah, having shrugged off the two massive blows from the Morning Star, with the somehow finding strength in your weak arm, you just twirl the flail a couple of times and then bring it in with the uppercut. Last time you did this, you could carved out a portion of his chest and opened his throat a little bit. This time it's a bit more. As you go in, you carve a huge gash through the front of Borgaz, and then as there's like a flourish at the end of the uppercut, and you just pry his jaw loose. And there's a pained, gargling sound and disbelief in his eyes as he falls back, dead. And you look, the bugbears look very shaken all of a sudden. Eska, your turn.
I am going to shoot out a message. We came to save you. Let me protect you. I have your ladybird.
Make a persuasion roll. We'll make this a straight roll, not disadvantage.
Oh, thanks. 20.
There's a moment before you get a response. Not long, but it feels long. Especially with all this going on. And she just says, I can't go back. Come find me.
I will attempt that. I'll use my, I guess 60? Yeah, I think 60 feet right now, because I used an action to cast message.
Yeah.
I'll use my 60 to kind of head into the woods and try and at least...
Okay.
I know I probably won't be able to find it this turn, but I'll make the move in that direction.
Okay.
Just to make sure that she stays within touch range of Cassette, she's going to stay where she is. And she is going to shoot off a firebolt at the orange tinged
Okay.
bugbear for a whopping 7, which I'm sure does not hit.
That is correct.
And then the spiritual hammer is conveniently right behind the purple one. So.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. He's just not doing great this time.
Yeah. Just happens to be swinging down as the bugbear is turning to look at Silverius, and it just deflects off his shield. At the same time, a little mote of fire whiffs just past the ear of the orangey-looking one. Anything else?
No, that is it.
Okay, Silverius.
Can use the hammer, hopefully distracting the one. Still, 25 to hit.
Yeah, 21 absolutely hits.
4.
Once more, the smell of briefly burning fur fills everyone's nostrils. The wind has picked up a little. The rain has picked up a little, so he doesn't stay on fire for very long. but you didn't enjoy that. Butter.
Okay, I'm gonna put my hunter's mark on the orange. 25 and 12 damage with another 5 from hunter's mark.
Gosh. You didn't get the exact number you needed this time. That's odd.
Failure.
He's still barely hanging on as this arrow comes through and catches him sort of like at the base of his neck. Somehow he's still standing, but that had to have done a lot of damage. Kedox reports to you, Silverius, that the girl has stopped running and is sat at the base of a tree. Appears to be looking back towards the camp. Bugbear's turns. Orange disengages and runs. Purple disengages and runs. Cassette.
I guess, could I drop my flail, move, pick up one of the javelins they threw right around there, and then throw it? Would that be too many actions?
No, that's all fine.
So 17 to hit, because that's in range.
Yeah, that hits.
7 damage.
He staggers as his javelin comes through and goes right through like the shoulder blade area. And you think he's gonna fall, and then he sort of catches himself and keeps running.
Okay, and
But he's not running very comfortably right now because there's a javelin sticking out of him. Eska, make a perception check for me.
Okay. Well, I was going to, if I may,
Yes.
to aid in this, cast Detect Thoughts to detect any creatures within 30 feet of me as I move.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, I'll just say, yeah, you're able to find her. In the tree above her, you see Kedox perched, just watching over her. She is shaking. She's now bedraggled as the rain picks up.
If I have the movement, I will move up to her, noticeably sheathe my dagger, hold out in my palm the brooch,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was,
Yeah.
and just kneel beside her and watch back, make sure nobody's pursuing.
Yeah, you think for now nothing's coming after you. She kind of looks at you for a second, looks down into your hand, and slowly takes the brooch from you, and just kind of stares at it for a second before trying to attach it back to her shirt, and with her hand shaking like the ash is failing at the moment.
I guess I just say, may I?
And she doesn't stop you.
So I go ahead and pin it back for her.
She gives you a weak smile. Just sort of vaguely tries to brush some of the water out of her face.
I do shoot a message back then
Okay.
to Bardur, as he was the closest that I knew of,
Mm-hmm.
and I just say, she's safe.
Okay.
Hold off for a moment.
Bardur, I'll let you know when you get that.
When I get the message.
Yep. Claire.
How obscured is the orange bugbear from here? Can she still see him?
You can see him because of the tree density at this point. I'd say he's got half cover, so just ups his AC a smidge.
So she is going to cast just the level 1 magic missile. 2 of them are going to go for the orange one, and 1 of them is going to go for the purple one.
No problem.
So that was the first one for 4.
Okay, and that's on orange.
Yes.
Okay.
Second one on orange for 2. The last one for 4.
You kind of look up, little sort of grimace of dwarven determination. Summon these 3 magical darts, spray them out, two of them weave through the trees and smack the orange bugbear in both temples, and he dropped. And then the third one flies over, targets the wound where the javelin is, and he crumples to the floor. Gone as well. You kind of just look around and see what happens, and then Bardor, you hear in your head a message from Eska letting you know that the girl is safe for now.
You can reply.
That's true, you can.
Good.
Eska shakes her head slightly.
The promised thunderstorm seems to be closing in. Eska, you have a moment with Julith.
Are you okay? Did they hurt you?
No pain. Yes, I'm okay. It's just a lot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot. You did good though. Running was the right choice. When you see a big dragonborn, you run.
He looked like... Was he friendly?
He's on our side. You'll find him to be a little rough around the edges. That is his... I don't know if he'd call it a pet. They're just up there.
She looks up and sort of shudders briefly, seeing Kedox, remembering him, in her mind, trying to rip at her face. Thought he was trying to eat me.
I don't know him well, but I don't believe he was. Do you want me to check that things are safe back there, so we can head back?
She kind of pauses for a second and then slowly nods.
So I just message back to Bader and say, let me know when it's clear.
As far as I can tell, everything's going right.
Make a perception check.
16.
Coast seems pretty clear right now.
I'll say it. I think it's clear. And then I'll say to everybody else, Eska's got her.
Try and get her up then, put my hand around her shoulder, and guide her back to towards the camp. These are good people. They may look intimidating. Well, they are intimidating, but they do not fear these ones.
Right as Eska's saying that, Savarius comes up, like, galloping over on his horse. And he points over to Julith.
And why would you run away after I just said we...
She cowers behind Eska for comfort and doesn't answer you.
This probably won't work, but Eska attempts to cast Gust. That's hilarious.
Cantrip?
Yep.
Here, plop it in the
strength-
chat for me.
Strength saving throw.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh.
He all kinds of failed.
You are pushed 5 feet away from us, which could be interesting.
There's this look on his face. It's just like...
Make a dexterity saving throw, please.
I'm hoping for dismounting.
Oh yeah.
That will be an 8.
That is a falling off the horse moment right there.
And I just turn to her and say, see, he's big, but he's not very intimidating.
Eska.
Yes.
And then Eska looks down the camera and shrugs, and the theme music plays.
Savarius, remember what she's been through.
There's this really angry look in his face. And he takes a deep breath.
Don't ever do that again, Eska. This is your warning.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that. You must be tired, though. I did not
More
expect
than you know.
did not expect that to blow you off the horse. My apologies.
He grabs Chad, and mounts back up.
Or the temptation.
I'm gonna pick up my falcata and look for arrows. Then I'm gonna start looking around the body.
I'm going to
What's everyone
stay
else
with
doing?
her.
Okay.
In just a clatter of armor, Claire is just gonna full body just lay on the ground by the
I
campfire
was thinking
and just breathe for a minute.
you're just sitting down on the ground.
I guess Esker would kind of walk her over towards Claire and Cassette, being the friendlier members of the crew.
I mean, considering Cassette and Claire are probably both covered in blood and like guts from smashing open
That's-
bodies, I don't know how friendly we look at the
I mean,
moment.
friendlier than Silverius.
Investigation?
Yes. Give me
Okay.
investigation.
Oh, good gosh.
What number?
I mean, I got a 1, but I have a -1 modifier, so it's 0.
So you spent some time. You're able to retrieve about half the arrows you fired.
Yeah.
And as you're going through the bodies, you realize they don't really seem to have much on them at all. You get a collection of about 30 copper pieces. But that's it.
I'm not even gonna dignify like offering it to the rest of the party. I'm just gonna put it in my pocket and just be like, just kind of huff to myself.
So you just sort of gather around the fire, take a moment, realize it's gone out, kind of
I
sit
think I might
around.
be able to relight that. I can instantly light a small campfire.
Very
Theory.
It lights. It had kind of dwindled to next to nothing anyway. Having been relit with vigor, it seems to do well for a while here. And you have a moment sitting around the tent with the fire. The rain's still coming down, and you have a choice to make whether to try and head back through the storm now, or to maybe consider sitting it out in the tents and heading out once the storm passes.
How bad of a storm is?
Some pretty dark clouds. I don't know that you're necessarily the best person to determine the severity of the storm.
Don't feel like talking with. I'm mad at but she's the only one. It's like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
It's certainly gusty, isn't it?
But is it too dangerous to travel? We have the other horses out there.
That's true. Perhaps a couple of us could gather the horses whilst those that need to have a rest? Maybe? Cassette and Claire don't look great. Are you okay to stay here with these folks?
I can.
Silverius, I was talking to her. Sorry.
Yes, I now they're gone. I'm okay.
They may look a little worrying right now, but that's... Normally they look very nice.
No, I understand that they don't normally come covered in blood.
Good.
Cassette smiles and like she's like got blood in her mouth and such.
Yeah, at that, Claire sits up and slowly starts prestidigitating the blood out of her hair, off of her shield.
Take care of her for a moment, if you would. We'll be back with the horses.
She kind of looks at you, Claire, as you're doing that, and says, "You fought very bravely, both of you."
Oh, thank you, but Cassette's really the brave one.
I'd like to try my hand at that someday. couldn't put up much of a fight against those foul creatures when they took me, though.
Well, I'm sure with the right teacher, they could teach you some defense skills.
It's hard trying to get them to teach me anything that's not just, fitting me up for the right family connection.
Claire just kind of, a very sympathetic look comes across her face and she nods.
I'll keep trying, though. I don't plan on just staying at home all the time. This is not what I had in mind when I wanted to see the world, though.
I'll confess to you, the world's a bit more dangerous than even I expected.
I figured that out when I saw them hit Jofor in the head. I see it every time I close my eyes.
Claire will just kind of reach over and making sure that she's using a clean hand and not a still bloody hand. Will just gently pat her on the knee. It seems hard right now, lass, but it'll fade with time.
She just sort of nods at you and says, I don't know if they've got anything useful, but I saw the other dwarf going through their bodies trying to find things. But I think the leader kept a small chest in his tent. And she kind of points to the one opposite her. I got the impression that's where they kept their main supplies. That's where they were talking about putting the reward. Did you really bring the reward? I didn't think my family would be able to afford it.
No, we barely have even 2 pieces of gold to rub together ourselves. We were kind of hoping that we could sneak you out, but we got caught pretty early.
They're quite sneaky. That's how they caught me, and how they killed Jofor and those hirelings. I still barely knew their names. What about Edwin? Was he okay?
Oh, yes, I do believe he's fine. He's recovering back in Delzimer.
And you see a big smile cross her face. That's good.
She kind of squints at her a little bit and just kind of softly says, "Am I right to suspect you're maybe especially fond of him?"
Kind of blushes a little and says, he takes good care of me and makes sure that I'm safe as best he can. And you kind of see her back stiffen just a little bit as well.
She just kind of very, very tiredly just chuckles and gets up and heads towards the leader's tent to go check it out.
Inside you find a small chest. It's not locked. They weren't planning on ever needing to lock it. And you actually find quite a few things of interest. A large sort of jingling bag. You open it up and you see that there's an array of gold, silver, and copper pieces inside. There's also what appears to be a vest of some sort, like an animal fur vest. A very ornately carved wooden rod. There's a little ceramic medallion carved into the likeness of the face of a woman. And then, as you're kind of looking through this, your nose twitches, and you find in a bag in the chest there a small container of perfumed candles. As you're kind of picking through the stuff, you hear a little clink and look down, and there's 3 small vials filled with red liquid, a little rolled up piece of paper.
Yeah, she kind of rifles through everything. She will pick up the vials and the paper that rolled out and put them back in the chest, and then close the chest and bring it out, and call over Silverius and Cassette to have a look.
So you kind of pull them out. The vials, once you kind of get them out of the dingy tent, it's clear that they are just regular potions of healing. The paper, you wouldn't really know what it is unless you unroll it.
Then, yeah, sure. She'll pick it up and unroll it.
I put my shield over it to try to block the rain.
Okay. I will need you to make a no.
I throw.
She explodes. No, it is a spell scroll. The scroll in question is continual flame. The other items, just kind of eyeballing them, they don't look necessarily particularly unusual or potent, but they may be worth some money. And then, of course, you have a bag of money too. Bador and Eska, you are able to gather the horses back and bring them over.
Hooray.
So the horses and the party are back together. So, do you hunker down? Or do you head out?
I vote for at least a hunker down for a short rest. See how it looks.
It's probably about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
How accurate does Druidcraft work with? Can you like determine?
I think it's vague.
It's for your location for 24 hours.
Predicts the weather. I guess that's somewhat open to interpretation.
You can always try it and see what happens.
Boom. That's me trying it.
I see. It's almost like a little bowl that appears in front of you, and it shows dark, stormy cloud for a while, eventually passing to what appears to be a cloudless night. You get the impression of wind for the next morning.
I relay that.
You are able to get off a short rest here, so you may roll hit dice for those who feel the need to recuperate. We will pick up the next session as your short rest concludes.
Hooray.
You survived my bugbear trap.
There was some pretty close moments for. Cassette was like,
Yeah,
I
there
feel
was
like I'm
one
not putting you
point.
down, I just... Not that better.
No, if we didn't have those temporary hit points.
I don't know, I can't make up my mind. The temporary hit points were nice, but not failing everything before that would have been good as well. It's a tough a tough call. I was really considering switching from defense to attack until the set like blasted him for max damage, and he still looked okay. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. I'm not opening myself up to another hit from him.
That's probably wise.
I knew they were pretty dangerous at lower levels, but I couldn't remember how bad. But yeah, if I got crit one of those 2 times, that would have been it for me.
that armor worked twice, where it pumped your AC up just a
One of the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Having the splint versus chainmail made a big difference, and then negated 2 crit.
I hope people weren't too upset at the beginning of the thing.
Well, the fact that you made this wonderful plan and then it immediately failed.
Yeah, I figured maybe the stall was the best thing, but I don't know. I was kind of scared that I wasn't sure how Bardo was going to react if he was just going to start shooting, and I was like, I need to jump out here and stall or something. But it did initiate some pretty nasty combat, so.
We didn't have a solid backup for stumbling upon them early.
It's true.
It was, yeah. I mean, I think that all things considered, it was handled.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Good.
I wanted to message back to you, but they attacked and went into the surprise and then straight into combat before I had a chance. And there was suddenly 3 of them on me. I was like, I can't waste an action on messaging there. It's just
Yeah, because I had a plan, but they assaulted you so fast.
yeah.
I still can't believe how much I missed you.
I was
When you think
hoping.
with just the sheer volume of attack.
Yeah. That disadvantage is so brutal, though. The number of terrible rolls we had as well with the disadvantage. And then I really wanted to leave to get out of there so I could do my normal stuff. But I was like, if I leave, Cassette is going to be swarmed by like 6 of these guys. And nobody else was really close, apart from maybe Claire, and she's not necessarily wanting to dive in.
Yeah, just having you there dodging was super helpful.
That channel divinity is.
Yeah, it's
Oh
It doesn't
yeah, that's
attack me, does it?
beautiful.
Whew. Well then, that was rather touch and go there. Nimble footwork by Eska. Very necessary, I think. Thank you very much for listening. We will see you next time as the adventurers recuperate from the rather fiendish bugbear fight and head back to town with Julius safely recovered. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.